So I'm out here at the artificial lake in Tirana with Cris4tay. He's another YouTuber. I'll put his stuff in the description below. And we're out here droning, and I'm back to my roots here because this was the very first place that I ever did my very first drone flight back in May of this year. And we're droning around the lake. It's a really nice day. It's clear so far. It was threatening to rain earlier, but the clouds seem to have disappeared on us. So I don't think I told y'all much about this lake the last time I was out here, but it is an artificial lake. It's right next to a park, and again, in Tirana. So much green spaces everywhere. It's just, it amazes me as far as capital cities go that it has that. But playing with the drone a little bit. I hadn't done much of it, hadn't done any of it in the city since I got back from the ocean. But anyway, so Chris, I discovered him before I came to Albania, and I was getting ready to move. We were at the last minute trying to figure out where to go, and I was looking at different YouTube channels in Albania, and I saw his, and he was real boots on the ground, telling you no bullshit, exactly what was going on. He wasn't fluffing it up like you see with all these influencers and stuff. I mean, it was the real deal. And so you got a real impression of what this city is really like rather than what people want you to think it's like, which I think is really important on there. And it's what I try to do with mine. I don't want you to go someplace and get there and come back and be like, hey, Lawai, this is a crap hole. Why'd you send me here? You know, you need to know about the warts of a city. You need to know about the good parts of the city. But anyway, when I decided to actually start YouTubing and put stuff up, I think I'd posted like a week's worth of video or whatever. And Chris, his channel's much bigger than mine. He's been doing this for a while, and he knows what he's doing. Unlike the, you know, the rough cut stuff you see with me. He reached out to me and he's like, hey, are you still in Tirana on YouTube? And I had just left, literally, I think 24 hours or less before that, to Montenegro. And I was like, no, but I'll be coming back. And he was like, hit me up when you get back, put you on my show, help you out a little bit. And he did. And he's a great guy to hang out with. And now we'll kind of show you the backstage of what it's like doing vlogging and the seriousness of how he is droning. So he's like a professional with this stuff. I
don't know about that.
It looks like it compared to me. And you've had that, how long? When did you first get your drone?
So maybe the first week of February.
Yeah.
I think I was here like a week or so when I bought it.
But where'd you launch first from?
Right here.
Right here. Right where we're at right now, yeah.
Yeah, right here. It was very cold. And I started learning to fly, and I figured, you know, the best place to learn to fly, I wanted to fly obviously the square first.
Yeah.
That's the most open space. But then when I started to like figure it out, I said, no, I don't want to hit anybody. So I figured I'll find some place at the lake. And I've searched around, and none of this stuff was overgrown.
Yeah.
And I found that cement platform, and I was like, all right, that's it. Nobody's around here. I won't hit anybody. So I felt good about it.
Yeah, that was my thoughts when I first flew here. I was like, one, hopefully if I crashed the drone I could find it, but two, I didn't like slam it into anybody's head.
Yeah, that is part of it. You get a little, listen, there's like really no drone laws here.
Yeah.
So with the fact that there's no drone laws, you can put the drone up any way you want. And honestly, you could just stop in the middle of the street on the boulevard and be like, I'm droning this.
Yeah.
And nobody will say shit. The cops won't even bother you, I don't think, as long as you're being respectful. But I was like, I'm not doing that. I'll wait. I wanted to at least get 3 or 4 flights. Felt good before I started doing the square. And then I started doing the square. And after I did the square a few times, doing different things, and I was like, I'm good. And I started flying between buildings and stuff. I'll fly off balconies. I don't care.
And these DJI drones, they're really... Look, if somebody as technologically illiterate as me can get one of these things up and bring it back, you can do it too. Trust me, it's not that hard. I've played with, the like kitty drones and stuff they sell, and they'll end up in trees if I'm messing with them. But these, the controls, very smooth, very slick. They hold in position, they hover very well, and as long as you're careful when you first start, you're not going to destroy your drone. You're not going to lose it. Just be careful and go up and down a few times and forwards and backwards, and it'll work. But
yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, they do have different modes: cinema, normal, and sport. Sport's obviously fast. Normal is pretty fast. Cinema gives you that more if you want that slow-mo feel and stuff like that. But cinema is probably the best way to learn to fly, or if you have trouble trying to, when you turn to keep it smooth, cinema actually helps you kind of keep it smooth. Because a lot of times if you fly in normal or sport and you try to do like turns and try to keep it smooth, it'll go too tilted because it's going too fast. Where cinema actually will slow it down for you, and you're like, cinema is the way to go. Unless you just want to hurry back, then you can put it in sport mode.
Yeah, the sport mode is, if you get out over the water and the wind starts like slowing you down to where you think you're going to lose it, you kick it into sport and bring it back, and it'll push through that and get back to you.
Yeah, I mean, I almost lost my drone in Korcha. I was about 700 meters away, and all of a sudden it just went basically everything redlined. The GPS, the radio signal, the flight information was gone, and that was it. I was like, all right, it's a wrap, and it was out for over a minute. Thank God that these drones are designed to, when they lose communication, just hover.
Yeah.
So once it got its signal back, it was like, it just kept going, return to home, return to home, return to home, return to home. And I'm like pressing the button, like, all right. And it auto went to sport mode. It auto went to sport. It didn't do it on the dial, but it automatically went to sport speed.
Really?
That motherfucker came up fast.
No kidding.
Yeah, I was like, why is this thing flying back to? And I had to land. I was in a walking street, and I was sitting by this monument, and I'm like, I gotta slow down. There's people right here, you know. I
didn't know it would do that. I thought I thought that always had to be manual, but I hadn't had that. I haven't yet lost signal on it.
Yeah, it's the worst feeling.
I know it's going to happen sooner or later.
Because my first response is, oh, well, I lost it, now time to run. Because I think that's the one thing you're worried about, it hitting somebody.
Yeah.
Like, listen, you crash into a building, who gives a fuck? It's a little plastic drone.
Yeah.
If you lose it, fine, you're out a couple hundred, you're out, $600-700. But you hit somebody, kind of feel bad,
And these things are so light, if you hit a building or something like that, it's not really going to cause any damage.
But if it drops out of the sky,
yeah,
from 100 meters up or whatever, it could be
to a person.
Yeah, it could be kind of shitty.
So this place has got like bike trails all through it, which again, I can't remember, but I don't think that I actually showed y'all any of this when I was here last time. I was so consumed with like trying to figure out how to launch my new toy at there. But it's a really cool place to hang out. I haven't been back here since May. That was one of my regrets when I left, is I didn't hang out more in here, because it would have been a great place to do daily walks and stuff rather than just down around the city and breathing in all the fumes. At least I could have been down here to where it was green. And I hadn't seen the other side of the park yet, which my understanding is much different from Chris, and that it's kind of a more unique experience than this. But all right, so we're going to continue droning for a little bit, and then if we see anything else interesting, I'll tune you back in. If not, take care.